6:15, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The Finance Minister emphasises that foreign loans will not be obtained after repaying the existing loans. Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa says the main reason for the country not receiving foreign remittances is the activities of the then Good Governance government. Sri Lanka will make the COVID vaccination card mandatory to visit public places. A scholarship scheme for undergraduates with economic difficulties at the Colombo University will be launched from January. Railway Station Masters Union says they have planned to take trade union action from Monday. Foreign news, dozens of migrants killed as trailer overturns in Mexico. Sports, Formula 1, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen set for title showdown in Abu Dhabi. News in detail now. In his reply speech of the budget, Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa said today in Parliament the main reason for the country not receiving foreign remittances is the activities of the then Good Governance government. He said that the country will pay each dollar that has to be paid by next year. He said that after that the country will never obtain any more foreign loans. The Finance Minister said there is a clear program to do so. He said $500 million have to be paid by January and $1,000 million by June. The export income in 2019 was $31,774 million. He further said the aim is to further increase the income. Taking part in the budget debate today, State Minister Kanchana Wijesekara said present government has removed the nation building tax and reduced taxes related to construction sector by 50%. He said although the Good Governance government received $1.2 billion by selling the Hambantota harbour, it has not been used to repay debt. He further said the government has allocated funds to give motorcycles to public servants, which was stopped by the previous government. Samagi Jana Balawegaya MP Dr. Harsha De Silva said a crisis could occur by the end of January if there is no proper understanding of the economic depression in the country. He said economic experts have paid their attention in this regard. State Minister Indika Anuruddha said during the time of the Good Governance government, the Housing Ministry has misused about 20 million rupees. He charged that former housing minister has given building material valuing nearly 500 million rupees to his political friends. He said the previous government has spent 707 million rupees to fix name boards in rural areas. Expenditure account of the Ministry of Finance was debated in Parliament today, which was the final day of the committee stage budget debate. Meanwhile, Parliamentary Business Committee has decided that Parliament will meet again on the 11th, 12th and 13th of next month. President's Media Division said Sri Lanka will make the COVID vaccination card mandatory in the future for people to visit public places. The decision was taken at the Special Committee on COVID-19 Control convened under the patronage of the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa this morning. During the meeting, the President has directed the committee members to conclude the administration of COVID-19 booster dose within the next 2 weeks in a bid to curb the spread of the virus in the festive season. Fully vaccinated people who have completed 3 months since receiving their second shot are eligible to receive the booster dose. A scholarship scheme for undergraduates with economic difficulties at the Colombo University will be launched from January. The scheme will begin with 2,500 rupees and later it will be increased to 5,000 rupees. The inauguration ceremony of the scheme took place this morning at the university premises under the patronage of the Chancellor, Venerable Muruthettuwe Ananda Thera. Chairman of the Railway Station Masters Union, Sumedha Somaratna, says they have planned to take trade union action from Monday based on several demands. He said it's based on several demands, including the failure of the management to implement a proper system to ensure health protection of commuters and not approving the criteria to recruit station masters for 11 years. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has conveyed his condolences to Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the demise of the Chief of Defence Staff of the Indian Armed Forces, General Bipin Rawat. The Prime Minister's statement said government and the people of Sri Lanka join him in conveying profound sympathy to the bereaved families on their irreparable loss. He said that General Rawat will be long remembered by Sri Lanka as an exceptional friend who contributed immensely to the enhancement of Sri Lanka-India defence cooperation. Minister Prasanna Rantunga says government has identified problems that have arisen by developing Hikkadua area as a tourism city without a proper plan. He mentioned this as a reply to opposition leader Sajith Premadasa in Parliament today. He said Urban Development Authority and Ministry of Tourism is preparing a plan to develop 5 areas at tourism zones including Arugambe and Hikkadua. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
A range of unmatched benefits with People's Credit Cards from People's Bank.
Secretary-General of the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sector Technical and Economic Cooperation, Tenzil Lekfeld, paid a courtesy call on Foreign Minister Professor G.L. Piris and briefed on his first official visit to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is the chair of the BIMSTEC since 2018, and the minister assured Sri Lanka's commitment to furthering the goals of the regional organisation. The Secretary-General informed that Sri Lanka has achieved much during its tenure, which includes the finalisation of the BIMSTEC Charter and the allocation of defined areas of cooperation among member states which form the base of the organisation. Sri Lanka will host the 5th BIMSTEC Summit early next year, where the chairmanship will be handed over to Thailand. United Nations Assistant Secretary-General, United Nations Development Programme, Assistant Administrator and Director of the UNDP Regional Bureau for Asia and the Pacific, Kanni Wignaraja, will arrive on Monday for a 5-day official visit to Sri Lanka. She is visiting Sri Lanka with the aim of better understanding country priorities and exploring new avenues of support from UNDP to Sri Lanka, particularly focusing on follow-up to the recently concluded UN Climate Change Conference COP26, post-COVID-19 socio-economic recovery in the region and leveraging of more development financing to the country. Term of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Electoral Reforms has been extended until the 31st of March next year. Parliament approved the proposal today, submitted by the chairman of the committee, Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. Its term was to end on 16th January next year. And that ends local news for now.
A range of unmatched benefits with People's Credit Cards from People's Bank. Discounts up to 60% and interest-free installment plans from selected merchants.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Ministry of Health says 377 more COVID-19 patients were discharged from medical care today. This brings the total number of recoveries reported in the country to 544,200. Sri Lanka has recorded 570,672 COVID patients so far. 11,917 patients are currently receiving treatment. Meanwhile, the death toll from the coronavirus outbreak in the country stands at 14,555. And that was our main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
The University Grants Commission says that the closing date for students to register themselves at the respective state universities has been extended until the 16th of December. It had been previously announced that today would be the closing date for students to register. This has been extended by another 6 days. And that was Watchlight.
Be aware before you follow any vocational course. When you select a training institute, check and verify its registration and course accreditation by Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission (TVEC) without wasting your valuable time and money. Visit and meet skills development officers or career guidance practitioners. Visit www.tvec.gov.lk for more information. Message from Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
Coming up, World News.
The headlines: dozens of migrants killed as trailer overturns in Mexico. Russia compares Donbas war zone to genocide. Taylor Swift faces trial in Shake It Off copyright case. World News in detail now. At least 54 people have been killed and scores more injured after the truck they were being transported in crashed in southern Mexico. More than 150 people, said to be migrants from Central America, were crammed into the truck's trailer when it rolled into the state of Chiapas. Pictures from the crash scene show victims strewn across the road next to the overturned truck. There were also rows of what appeared to be bodies covered in white sheets. Russian President Vladimir Putin has been hardening his rhetoric over the situation in Ukraine, saying the war in the country's east looks like genocide. Russian-backed rebels have been fighting Ukrainian troops there since 2014, and tensions have been growing as Russia amasses troops on the border. There are fears that Russia is planning to invade Ukraine, which Russia denies. Taylor Swift must face a jury trial over accusations that she stole lyrics for Shake It Off from another song. A U.S. judge has refused Swift's request to dismiss the case, saying a jury may find that her 2014 hit copied girl group 3LW's 2001 tune Players Gonna Play. Both tracks feature variations of the phrases Players Gonna Play and Haters Gonna Hate. Back to the headlines of the world news. Dozens of migrants killed as trailer overturns in Mexico. Russia compares Donbas war zone to genocide. Taylor Swift faces trial in Shake It Off copyright case. And that ends World News.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
The Port of Colombo is the best connected port in South Asia, according to the annual report of the Maritime Transport Review released by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development for the year 2021. According to the Liner Shipping Connectivity Index, 8 of the top 10 ports were in Asia, led by Shanghai. The remaining 2 are Rotterdam and Antwerp. And that was Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Moving on with sports news.
Cricket news. The 8th match of Sri Lanka Premier League is being played today between Dambulla Giants and Galle Gladiators at R. Premdas International Stadium in Colombo. Batting first, the Dambulla Giants scored 159 for 7 wickets in 20 overs. Meanwhile, the next match of the series between Colombo Stars and the Jaffna Kings is scheduled to begin at 7:30 p.m. at the same venue. England under-19 won the 5th One-Day International by 48 runs at the SSC today. Batting first, England scored 214 for 8 wickets in 50 overs. Sri Lanka scored only 166 in 35.1 overs. Joe Root and David Marlon breathed life into the first Ashes Test against Australia with a defiant partnership of 159 on day 3 at the Gabba. In a complete turnaround from England's first innings 147 all-out, the third-wicket pair took the tourists to 220 for 2, 58 behind in Brisbane. Formula One news. Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton face off for the 2021 Formula One World Championship in Abu Dhabi this weekend in what is arguably the most intense title decider in the sport's history. And if it's not the most intense, Ayrton Senna and Alan Prost in 1989 and 1990, which both ended in collisions between the participants, is a pretty tough competition. And that was sports news.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Brandix Apparel Limited, home to over 60,000 team members in Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh and beyond, has announced the signing of musical sensation Yohani Di Loca Di Silva as its brand ambassador. A company with local roots and global reach, Brandix resonates with Yohani as a personality representing the positive culmination of efforts, hard work and commitment to take her brand to the world. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 Go sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
The results of the biannual Export Barometer survey reveals Sri Lankan exporters are optimistic in their outlook for growth, although difficulties were experienced in the first half of 2021. According to the latest findings, exporters have expressed that they are more confident in the outlook of their own near-term growth compared to their growth outlook on the economy. And that was Economic News.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
The Weather Report.
The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at a few places in the western, Sabragamur and central provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts during the evening or at night. Fairly heavy rainfall above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places in these areas. Several spells of light showers will occur in the eastern and Uva provinces and in the Hambantota district in the morning. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the Sabragamur, central, southern and Uva provinces during the morning. And that was the weather report. And to end this news broadcast, back to the headlines. The Finance Minister emphasises that foreign loans will not be obtained after repaying the existing loans. Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa says the main reason for the country not receiving foreign remittances is the activities of the then Good Governance government. Sri Lanka will make the COVID vaccination card mandatory to visit public places. A scholarship scheme for undergraduates with economic difficulties at the Colombo University will be launched from January. The Railway Station Masters Union says they have planned to take trade union action from Monday. News from overseas: dozens of migrants killed as trailer overturns in Mexico. Sports Formula 1 news: Lewis Hamilton versus Max Verstappen set for title showdown in Abu Dhabi. And with that, we end this news broadcast and